I really wish someone has told me these 6 lessons in my early 20s. I bet there's no chance that most of us don't even know these things during that time. None of our academic books offer us that kind of information, nobody even have told us. Today, I am sharing 6 valuable lessons that I wish I knew in my early 20s. I am opening up about the lessons that have made significant impact in my life. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Harshita. I am really grateful and excited that you're here with me today because we're gonna dive in and explore these 6 amazing, major, life-changing, game-changing takeaways. Alright, so the first thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that everything is not your responsibility. You are your only responsibility. And I want to focus on the second part of the sentence, that you are your primary and whole responsibility. If given a chance, this is what I want to tell to my younger self, that you have to embrace your personal responsibilities, and that one of the most liberating realizations is that not everything is your responsibility. Sure, it's very natural of us to help others or to contribute to the world, but at what stake? I was the first child to my parents, and naturally I feel like, oh, I have to take care of my younger sibling or my younger ones, and sometimes I feel like I have to take over my entire family because that's what I've been observing, that's what has been taught to me, because that's what my dad did and my dad's dad did. Just because someone did it, now they're obligated to do it. Well, that is not the standard. That's a huge realization that I had, that everything is not your responsibility. It is so essential to recognize your own limits. Your primary responsibility is to take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's essential and it's necessary. How is your education going? What are your passions? What are your interests? How are you going to pursue them? What is your game plan? What is the strategy? Especially when you're in your early 20s, you're still learning, figuring out and building life. Rather than taking the entire burden, entire responsibilities on your shoulders, free yourself and actually make time and room to work on yourself. Because what are your goals? Not your societal or family goals, your goals. What are your expectations? Not your friends' expectations or society expectations, but you have to have time and room to think all of these things. When you constantly think about others' responsibilities, and when you're constantly obligated to do the things that nobody even have asked you to do, you will not have this time and energy to think about yourself. It is very easy for you to eat whatever you have in your own plate rather than eating everything in everyone's plate. Now you are the one who is taking this whole burden to eat and to figure out their own problems and responsibilities. You're not just taking the burden, but you're also not leaving anything for them to solve, to learn and to grow. Now if that is not selfish, I don't know what is. And that's why it's so important that you do you and let them do them. Here's an interesting thing. When you start teaching people to be responsible for their actions, for their decisions, you're not giving burden or either taking burden, because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you're not doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing, now someone else has to do it for you. Isn't it a burden for them? You're doing your own responsibilities. You taking care of your own responsibilities is giving permission to others to take care of their own responsibilities, to take care of their own life. Take out your ego. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You're of course naturally capable to do all the things that you can if given the right resources. You don't have to buy expensive gifts or book the flight tickets or give away your credit cards for them to use or provide for their accommodation when you are still living in a bare minimum. Now you might ask, who is doing all these things? Well, I did it, not realizing that this is not generosity, this is not selfless, this is burning out. You are living in a bare minimum and now you're offering a king life for others? It is not healthy in any means. It's pure, whole and soul ego working, not you. You're feeding your ego. I really wish I knew this before, rather than following this old fashion where you take responsibilities or burdens, or just take the pressure of taking the responsibilities of your friends or their mental health, their relationships or family's expectations or their pressures. Rather than taking all of these, I should have just focused on what I want to do. Stop taking everything on your shoulders. The world is still running without you. If you really care about the world, then you start taking care of yourself first. Your self-care routine, find out your interests, have a plan how you want to lead your life before even worrying about anybody. Start pleasing yourself before even pleasing anyone. And on that topic, the second thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is stop pleasing people. Pleasing to get others' approval, pleasing to get your parents' approval, your relatives, your family, your friends, even your Instagram followers. That is such a mindless, stressful process. Why do I say mindless? Because all of these thoughts are related to the perspective of others, how others are thinking about you, how others are looking at you. Just to fit in a group, you wanted to please them. You want to over-accommodate, overextend yourself. You go above and beyond. Sure, it is so good if you really love what you're doing. But doing all of these things is such a waste of time and energy if it means nothing to you. Especially when you're in your early 20s, you have to start saying no. How many times did you say yes when you actually meant no? How many times do you have to compromise your needs to accommodate others? Remember, you are in your early 20s. This is the time you structure your life. The more you please people, the more you let people to step on you, you will have identity crisis. Your identity gets very blurred out because you have lived your life so long that way that you don't even recognize what you like, what you don't like. This happened to me. Identity crisis happened to me. I realized, oh, those are not my goals. Those are my family goals. Those are not my interests. Those are my friends' interests. I had to sit by myself and realize, actually segregate what is mine and what are others' perspectives on me subconsciously. This is where self-awareness is so important. Just because your close friend or your close family member is doing something, it might not be 100% right for you. They're also figuring out their lives for the first time, like you and me. I really wish I knew this in my early 20s, that I'd have nobody to please but just please myself, my needs, my comforts, my plan for life. Instead of just to fit in a group, instead of just to please, instead of having this fear of rejection, I wish I just said no to the things that I don't want to do. I wish I spoke out my boundaries. I wish I spoke how I want to be treated. And the third thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that you cannot change people. You can only change yourself to change others. This was such a great slap to me. I wouldn't ask for a better one. Being the person I was, in the mindset that I was, I want to change people so badly. But little did I know that people don't change because you want to change them. People change if they want to change for themselves. No matter how madly or badly you want them to change, it's not up to you. It's up to them if they want to change themselves or not. I really wish I stopped taking the pressure to change others. I wish I did not have this excessive need to control my external situation. No, you cannot change your family thought process. No, you cannot change your boss's criticism. You cannot change negative attitudes of others or negative behaviors. All you can do is change yourself. Either they will match you or they will leave you. And I want to repeat this. If people cannot match you, they leave you. They shred like the old leaves. And you have to make room for new leaves, for new opportunities, for new people in your life. It's not that I want you to end your relationships. It's not that I want you to move away or get away from your friendships. Just having people around you does not mean anything. Having meaningful people around you means so much. And especially you are in your early 20s. That's the time you are structuring your life. And you have to have this meaningful and powerful impact in your life. Not hang out with the people where they are going down and want to pull you down with them. I really wish I knew this in my early 20s, that it is not my responsibility for someone's growth. It is not up to me for them to change. That's exactly what happened to me when I was trying to level up in my relationships and I see that my partner is not. I had this excessive need, excessive control on his life, that I want to change him, that I want him to grow along with me. But how is that possible? People come from different backgrounds, different families and cultures, And I just don't realize that he must have had his own emotional baggages that he has to solve. Just because I want him to change so badly doesn't mean that they will change. It should come from within. No matter how madly and badly I wanted to control this situation, I was never ever successful. And that's when I realized it's not up to you for someone's change. It's up to them for the change. They will change if they want to. You are nobody and you are no one to change them. And the fourth thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that my peace of mind is my highest stake, is my priority, is my greatest asset. I had this realization because back in the days, I used to get involved in everybody's business, in every chaos, all the noises, on others, on gossips, or on family drama, or being in a toxic environment. Because it's just so much fun, and by the time I get back home, there's no energy for me. There's no energy, what I want to eat, what I want to do, my chores, everything is on hold because there was no space mentally, because everything was occupied by just nonsense. So stop engaging yourself in unnecessary chaos. Everything is not your business. Don't make everything your business. For example, you don't have to stop and watch your neighbors fighting, or you don't have to slow down your car when there's a crash on a freeway. Steer your vehicle away and mind your business. Prioritize and leave mental space for the things that you want to do. When I realized that my peace of mind is my greatest asset, that's when everything changed. I started doing the things that actually mean to me, that matter to me. I found greater clarity in my life. I get new ideas. I get involved in the things that I love to do. Life is just too short to just gossip on others. Life is too short to be in a toxic environment where you don't want to be. Life is too short just to entertain this family drama. For all of these reasons, you have to maintain your peace of mind, your mental stability, your calm for greater clarity in life. And the fourth thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that you should be empathetic towards people. This is so ironic because on the one hand, I'm asking you, do not please people, and on the other hand, I'm like, be empathetic towards them. How does this work? How do we balance this? This is the perfect time for me to explain how boundaries are set for yourself, yet being empathetic towards others. And for that, I need you to understand what empathy means. Empathy means you are actively listening, you are paying attention and feeling how others are feeling. You don't have to agree with them. You are just placing yourself in their shoes, in their situation, and feeling. For example, how your mom's feeling when you're away. How is your dad feeling when you do a mischievous thing? So rather than thinking from your frame of lens, you go to their frame of lens and think, oh, that's exactly why so and so people are feeling so and so things. And these feelings does not have to be absolute truth. It might be truthful for them, it might not be truthful for you. So there is a difference. Whether you agree with these truths or not, you just empathize with them, be there for them. Now that is empathy. Now how do you handle boundaries? I have my previous videos talking about self-awareness. It's a fundamental concept where you know yourself. What are you? You go and know yourself to the tiniest detail that you can think of. Like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite actor? Or what's your favorite trait of yourself? What am I naturally good at? What are my interests? What are my opinions on politics? So knowing yourself, being so aware of yourself, of your needs, of your comforts, of your personality, of your boundaries, of your limits, of everything that you can think of to the tiniest detail, and go to the bigger questions like, how do I want people to respect me? What are my love languages? What does success mean to me? What does happiness mean to me? Getting aware of all of these questions. Now, when you know all of these answers to these questions, you know yourself for yourself. You can clearly set your boundaries. For instance, if you see something, if you feel or if you hear something that is not agreeing with your awareness, that is your boundary. That is your limit. That's exactly how you set your boundaries. If your awareness is not matching with that reality, whatever is happening in front of you, that is not agreeing with it, that is boundary. I hope this makes clear to you. Now, when you make these self-reflections on self-awareness, you tend to balance this delicate equation where you can still be empathetic towards people while being true to yourself. I wish this is a live session where I want to hear your thoughts. Okay, so that went a little off topic, but I had to explain these fundamental differences. Now, back to our conversations, where the thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that you should be empathetic. That I really wish I knew what is on the other side of the coin. I have realized this because it was so important to me that I wouldn't have dismissed the opinions of people that I care about. Like why my parents are worried about me, why my partner is feeling insecure about me. Rather than dismissing their words, their opinions, if at all I was empathetic towards these people, then I would have made better connections with them. So why empathy is important during your early 20s? It's because along the side of our careers or our dreams that we're building, we are also meeting people, we are making meaningful relationships, and only when you realize the importance of empathy, you tend to connect with people in a more meaningful way. It's so important that you know what is on the other side of the coin. And the last but not the least, the sixth thing that I wish I knew in my early 20s is that I should have asked for more. I should have received more. This is the biggest and the most impactful lesson that I have realized, that I should have asked for more. I should have simply asked for more. I come from a background where we don't really ask for more. We just feel happy for what is given. Sure, that is so humble, that is so innocent. But in life, generally in life, only when you ask for more, you will receive more. If you settle for whatever is given, no. Because my life has changed when I started to ask for more. When I stopped to settle for the bare minimum, my life showed in different ways to give me what I want. And in no way that this means that you are not being satisfied or not being grateful for what you have. Sure, you are being extremely satisfied and grateful for what you already currently have, but you're always asking for more. If someone in a relationship is giving you a bare minimum, sure, thank you, but I want more. This is a continuous process. This is not stopping anywhere. That's how you level up. Only when I asked for more emotional support, I got my emotional support. Only when I asked for clear communication in my relationship, I got my clear communication. In my workplace, when I asked for a pay raise, I got my pay raise. Only when I asked how I wanted to be respected, I got respected and treated well. There is a saying in my language where it translates something like, no matter if it's your mom, you need to ask if you're hungry. Otherwise, nobody is feeding you. It's something like that. So if you want something, if you're hungry about it, if you're hungry about an opportunity, if you're hungry for a relationship, if you're hungry for you to just treat better, you need to ask for it. You are not shy for it. You're not insecure about it. You are just asking what you're deserving. Well, these are the things that I wished I knew in my early 20s. But however, I really believe that I'm in the right place in the right time, because if I have not met the people that I have, if I have not taken the risk that I have, and if the life events did not occur as they did, I don't think I would be here. And I'm so glad, I'm so happy that I did not play a victim. I turned my challenges in my favor, and I started to love myself for what I am and who I am. And that brings us to the end of this video. These are my sincere life lessons that I've discovered myself. I really hope you take away something from this video, whichever relates to you the most. I will see you guys next time. Bye.